A chilling murder case unfolded at a hotel, leaving a woman dead and a man injured and unconscious. The police were baffled by the perplexing circumstances. The door was locked from the inside, the windows and vents were all tightly sealed, and apart from the two victims, the room was completely empty. How did the perpetrator manage to escape the crime scene undetected? The authorities narrowed it down to two possibilities: either the man killed the woman and then posed as a victim himself, or the killer had been hiding in the room all along. Favoring the first scenario, the police placed the man under surveillance as a suspect in the murder. Determined to clear his name, the man sought the help of a seasoned lawyer with an impeccable track record spanning 2 decades. The lawyer revealed alarming news: the police had found an eyewitness 3 hours ago, and an arrest could be imminent. The only way to avoid charges was to disclose every detail of the incident. Realizing the gravity of the situation, the man began to recount the events leading up to the crime. Days earlier, he and the woman had unwittingly fallen into someone's trap. The culprit demanded a hush money of 100,000 euros and instructed them to wait at the hotel where the murder took place. After waiting for a while with no sign of the blackmailer, they suddenly received a threatening message, claiming that the culprit was going to expose them. In a panic, they decided to flee. At that moment, the man was knocked unconscious by an unknown assailant. When he came to, he found the woman dead in the bathroom, surrounded by scattered banknotes. The police quickly broke in and took him into custody for questioning. After hearing the man's account, the lawyer began to analyze the case. According to the hotel staff's testimony, no one had left the room after the incident. The room was locked, the windows couldn't be opened from the inside, and there were no signs of forced entry. The police classified it as a locked room murder, with the man as the prime suspect. The man vehemently denied the accusations, insisting that he had been framed. He believed the killer must have been hiding in the room beforehand, murdered the woman, and then pinned the blame on him. However, the lawyer astutely pointed out the flaws in his theory. Who would want to frame you? What happened between you and that person? How is this connected to you both? The lawyer then produced a missing person report featuring a young man's photograph. Upon seeing the newspaper, the man's face turned pale. He had indeed been withholding information. The story traced back to 3 months prior when the man and woman had secretly rendezvoused in Paris. On their way back, in an attempt to save time, they took a shortcut. During the drive, they accidentally hit a deer. In a moment of crisis, the man swerved sharply, resulting in a collision with an oncoming vehicle. While they emerged unscathed, the young man in the other car tragically lost his life. The man, still in shock, wanted to call the police, but the woman persuaded him against it. She feared that the incident would ruin their reputations and careers if it came to light. Moreover, she argued that the young man was partly to blame for not wearing a seatbelt and being distracted by his phone. Convinced by her reasoning, the man agreed to keep the matter under wraps. To their misfortune, their car suddenly broke down, unable to start. As luck would have it, an auto mechanic happened to drive by. The woman accompanied him back to his house to have the car repaired. During their casual conversation, they made a shocking discovery: the young man they had killed was none other than the mechanic's own son. Due to copyright restrictions, I can only share the story up to this point. The film is titled The Invisible Guest.